last night on The Tomorrow Show. If you need some help breaking up your blues, ask Papu about fighting in World War II. If you want rocks at your bachelorette, you better not make the girl get on a jet plane. Bill Cosby said, hey, 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 he's a piece of shit. Beyonce and Jay-Z must have had their twins. And if you want some help breaking up your blues, just ask Papu to tell you about World War II.
New media, the final frontier. These are the broadcasts of The Tomorrow Show. Its mission, to befriend fellow nocturnals, escapists, and dreamers. Not to mention angry loners, the socially inept, and those with Peter Pan syndrome. To boldly go where no broadcast has gone before. The Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro. Your overnight broadcast featuring one celebrity boyfriend's midlife crisis, millennials in Star Trek costumes, and so much more. The underdog's best friend. And all you need is a smartphone or access to the internet. Here's the captain of your tomorrow, Kevin Undergaro!
You want to know what the best part about hearing Bill Cosby's a piece of shit is? It's that our slogan actually comes from him. If you're not careful, you just might learn something. That is the Tomorrow Show slogan from Sir Bill Cosby himself.
He's still teaching us lessons, just not good ones.
Yeah, you can still learn things from him. He's definitely trying to teach things these days, but we will talk about that very soon. Lauren, another amazing song from you. Thanks for that.
Oh, thank you, Roxy, for the inspiration.
You're welcome. Michael Klaus, I know you're excited tonight.
Oh, man, every time we get to talk Bachelor, you know I'm jacked.
Like, do you watch multiple times a day? I feel like you binge old seasons even after it's done.
I care a lot more about old seasons than I do about current ones because I feel like it was more love and less fame. So,
ooh, we're definitely going to be talking to our guest about that tonight. We've also got Scabby in the building.
What's up?
What's going on, girl?
You know, just it was a good day today. I'm happy. Yeah.
Scabby got herself a little promotion.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay.
We'll talk all about that later. And Miss Ashley Daniels, of course.
Hello, Roxy Stryer.
Hello, Ashley Daniels. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Christian Blatt back in the house. Or not. He might have ditched us at this point. Bonjour.
How are you, Roxy?
Did we piss Christian off? Did he leave us that soon?
I think I might have pushed the wrong button.
Oh.
That might have been it. But I am here.
That's what she said, he said, they all said.
That's what everybody said.
Try to push the right button next time, Christian. Happy to have you back.
Happy to be here, Captain.
And of course, we're starting out tonight with our amazing guest, Daniel Maguire. You guys know him from JoJo's season. You also know him from Bachelor in Paradise season 3, and maybe even on this season coming up. We're going to get all that from him. Daniel, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm hanging out, having a good time waiting for you.
Do you wish you were aboard this ship? Because I feel like this ship would look really good with you in it.
What ship?
The
one we're in.
The ship we're in. We're on a spaceship. You didn't realize?
No, I can't see that from here.
Oh, man.
It's pretty cool. You'll have to watch the show sometime. So the big question about what's going on with Corinne is who the hell is in the right and who the hell is in the wrong. We've been talking about this on the show for quite some time now. And the more information that comes out, the more confusing I feel like it gets. Because I don't know now, is Corinne pissed? Is it the producers that were more mad? Is DeMario getting screwed here? What is your thought in general on this situation?
Well, first off, I mean, I wasn't there, so it's hard for me to make a great opinion or, the right one. I'm just going off from, being on the show in the last 2 seasons of The Bachelorette and, my seasons. And then also from hearing from cast members that were there, like that they posted on social media and then like Reality Steve and stuff like that. And first off, when I heard that something might have happened, I thought, first off, do you actually think that this guy Demario is going to do a sexual assault on Corinne while producers are watching? It just blows my mind, and it doesn't make any sense. No way that would ever happen. Number two, if it was to happen, you think the producers would just sit back and watch us? Are you kidding me? It just doesn't make any sense. That's even wilder, you know? So those are the two big things that go through my head. And then, the fact that, supposedly, or, numerous people have said that Corinne made out with like 4 guys that day, or before or after she was making, hooked up with Demario. So it wasn't just like a one thing with Demario and this happened. She was like, being very promiscuous that day. Well, the fact that she's there and she has a boyfriend, it makes it even stranger, and crazier and wilder for all things, So, I mean, why is she there in the first place? The fact that she has a boyfriend, kind of blows my mind.
What do you think that producers would have done, because you have been on the show before, if they had seen something happening? Now, I'm not saying Demario did not do anything wrong, but what would producers have done if they witnessed sexual assault?
They would have stepped in, and then security would have, escorted the guy off the premises and took him away, to maybe jail or something. I don't know. Because they do have security there. But yeah, they're not. I mean, anybody with any morals would have done something. They would not just let it happen. Are you kidding me? And there's video of it too, obviously. So I mean, Demario said, he said to media, whatever, show the video. And so yeah, I think the fact that they now are resuming it was the fact that they looked over the video and decided, yeah, there was nothing happened. And Demario, the whole time was saying, what's going on? This is crazy. So I feel bad for him.
Have you spoken to Demario at all?
I don't know the guy. No, I've never seen anything of him. I'm not watching this current season. I've heard it sucks though.
You're talking about security being there. Have you ever seen security step into the producers, step in to caution people who are intoxicated? I know for The Bachelorette, you were with Chad, and there was the whole scandal of security step in.
So when I was there last season and Chad was getting really drunk, I was kind of standing there just watching everything unfold. And, like I've said in previous interviews, for me, I didn't feel uncomfortable or threatened or anything because, I've lived quite a crazy life and I have a lot of experiences. But if you, were, in a closet your entire life, then it'd be, yeah, this is wild and crazy. But for me, it was just like another day. It's like another weekend, big deal, right? So, and same with whatever happened. So you've never seen porn, or if you never had sex before, if you've never heard any crazy party stories, then obviously it might be a little wild for you. But, for me, I probably have been like, yeah, big deal. And that's what supposedly, happened was, the cast member was like, no, it wasn't a big deal that supposedly the next day they were like, maybe we're going to be a couple, and that they were talking, everything was fine until maybe a producer brought it up.
It seems like you have no sympathy at all for Corinne and her playing the victim card.
No, not at all. Sorry, I mean, the fact that she said that, someone said earlier, who was it? It was like, oh, don't you feel sorry, or no, not that Corinne, it wasn't Corinne, but it was a producer, but Corinne made a statement that she's a victim. So right away she's saying that she, is a victim, that she got attacked or assaulted or whatever. But I just can't believe it. And that the video comes out, or not the video comes out, but they're resuming the show because nothing that happened, obviously,
What do you think happened? If you had to guess what took place, what do you think happened?
What basically everyone's saying is that they just hooked up and they're both drunk. She probably felt guilty the next day that maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe she felt like got a little bit out of hand. They probably were both drunk. From what I've heard from Demario and everyone else, I mean from what they're talking to media, and it's just they probably got a little bit out of hand, as in like maybe they shouldn't have hooked up because maybe they're too drunk, or maybe it was really greasy in a sense, and but that's it. And then maybe a producer didn't think it was a good idea and just maybe brought it up. He brought up the problem.
Okay, so with Demario and Corinne supposedly not coming back, who would you say, if you could pick 2 people to replace them, who do you think would be the best?
Well, the fact that Corinne had a boyfriend, she shouldn't be there in the first place, along with 4 or 5 other girls supposedly that have boyfriends.
Like who?
Well, I mean, it's supposedly quite open. Like on Reality Steve, I was reading, who is it? Alexis, Astrid, Sarah. Well,
Christina supposedly has a boyfriend.
Yeah, and then Corinne. So yeah.
So you would replace her with someone that doesn't have a boyfriend. Who would that be?
Well, yeah, I mean, someone that generally just wants to try to find love. It's one thing if you want to do it for fun and everything else, but it seems like a lot of people are trying to just do it for fame.
Yeah, I feel that too, because considering you just named 5 people and that there's a couple other rumors out there, why do you think there is such a double standard when it comes to women going on the show and having significant others and men coming on the show having significant others?
Because what's happened in the last 5 or 10 years is that people and guys can't shame women, because they'll come across as a chauvinist, or that it's bad. But now that's a trend in the last many years. Guys can't do that. And for many years it was guys that were getting hammered on. Now it's like girls that, if they get like labeled or whatever, it's like we're the bad guys for labeling them. So now, it's like kind of like a double standard that we can't say, these girls are bad for doing that sort of thing, because women have the rights, and women, they could be comfortable with their body and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? But if guys do it, they're a pig, they're the player, they're the asshole,
So going back to my question, if you were casting the show and you had to replace these 2 spots, Corinne and Damario's spots, who from the Bachelorette Nation, who would you choose for each one?
Well, I mean, I can't comment on this season because I'm not watching it. But I've heard like someone who was telling me, one of my friends is watching this current season. They were just like, man, these guys are so girly and they're just whining and being like babies. And I'm like, worse than my season? I'm like, no way, that's impossible. But she's like, yeah, no, really. I'm like, no way, that's bad. So I can't comment. For my season, I don't know either, because a bunch of them are already going, like, Vinny, Robbie, Alex, Derek, Nick. I think these are people that are already like on the cast or whatever. I think. I don't really know. I don't really care either. I mean, let's just be honest. No one. I've never talked to anyone in the last year saying, "Oh, I wish so and so was on TV because they're so great," or because I like them, or because they're so funny or entertaining. I haven't spoke to one person.
There are rumors about you going on. Are you going on this current season?
I don't know. At this point, I have not no flights or anything like that. I think people are flying out soon. But no, if I did though, I couldn't even tell you. So.
You mean you couldn't tell us because production, or you mean you don't know the answer?
Well, if I did know, I couldn't tell you either way. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
Until they release the cast, I'm not saying anything anyways.
I have a question for you, going back to kind of the double standards, and kind of how this is all huge in the media right now. Do you think that Corinne or Demario, who do you think has the worst time coming out of this, and why? Like, do you think Demario will ever get past this? Do you think Corinne will ever get past this?
Well, I felt bad. Obviously people kind of were like, "Oh, Demario did this and that," and now it's like, I never believed it anyways. But now Demario's like, he still has a little bit of a stigma attached to it, because until like the video show comes out, it's still like, oh, maybe, maybe he did. I don't know. But I don't feel bad at all for Corinne. When I was watching Corinne on Nick's season, I was not impressed with her as a person. Teach their own. But yeah, I don't feel whatsoever sorry for whatever has gone to her and whatever is coming her way. Like, as in people bitching, complaining, and making fun of her or whatever. She's got to own up to it, and she's got to learn from her. Learn from her mistakes or from whatever she's done. And a year or two, everything will be forgotten. Hopefully,
If it wasn't Corinne, then do you think you would have an easier time believing the person?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Like, I mean, as bad as it sounds, like if it was another girl, I'd be like, oh, because it's Corinne, just from her personality, it's like she comes across as very like promiscuous, throwing herself on guys and this and that, where it's like she has a boyfriend, I'm not surprised that all this happened.
What do you mean you're not surprised?
As bad as that sounds, I'm not saying like that, but I'm not surprised that she was throwing herself on 4 or 5 guys. I'm not surprised that she was getting sexual with Damar in a hot tub. I'm surprised that it wasn't like it was consensual. I guess that's what happens. It's consensual. I'm not surprised.
I want to get back to the fact of the girlfriends coming on with boyfriends. And is that something that you were experienced when you were on the 3rd season of Bachelor in Paradise? And how, as a guy or guys, did you talk about that, of what girls have boyfriends, and how do you even approach that? Because DeMario's being looked at badly for doing that. Is that something that you knew about for your season, or other guys knew about with girls, and how did you approach it?
So, first off, for being on The Bachelorette, I didn't know anything about any of the guys. I didn't know anything about even JoJo. I didn't even know who she was until I got a limousine. I never watched a previous season.
Talking about that, sorry, Bachelor in Paradise. The last.
And then, but then on Bachelor in Paradise, again, I didn't know anything about the girls that were showing up. To me, they're just completely strangers. I didn't know who was talking to who, if anyone had boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. So it was kind of cool. And I think for the most part, from what I heard from the time there and from the time after that, most people didn't have boyfriends and girlfriends. So, but now it seems like as time goes on, people are learning that social media and reality TV go like hand in hand, that you can use it to your benefit to get endorsements or whatever, sponsors or, appearances or shit like that,
If you were DeMario in this situation, what would you do next?
I would sue. I'd probably counter sue Corinne for trying to ruin my image.
But Corinne's not suing him. She's suing production for not stepping in.
Corinne's saying she was a victim, so she's obviously saying that's saying that DeMario sexually assaulted her. So if nothing happened, she should have been like, no, what's going on, and gone to the media like, no, there's no issue here. It was consensual, But she's saying that by saying she's a victim, is saying that, yeah, something happened.
She's a victim. She's saying, from what I took, she's a victim of production not stepping in. She didn't blame DeMario from all the statements I've read.
Her statement said she's a victim, and it's like every woman's worst nightmare, like that. So that's saying like basically she got sexually assaulted.
Because she was intoxicated, though. Do you think that if someone's intoxicated, it is sexual assault?
No, people get drunk all the time and hook up. That's like happening millions of people around the world. But if she said no and he proceeded, that's sexual assault.
Do you think that alcohol consumption on this reality show or any reality show should be restricted by production?
It's going to be impossible. No, I mean, it's so hard to control. Like, you can only have 1 drink, 2 drinks, because everyone has different tolerances. It's like this. It's like real life. People get drunk all the time, drink too much, they make bad decisions, they get into fist fights, they go to jail, they get pregnant. They get hurt or whatever, they get in car accidents. That's life. And same with reality TV. This happens.
Well, not 1 drink, 2 drink, but I'm saying they put the booze out there for you guys. So if they didn't put as many bottles out, then you wouldn't be able to get as drunk, correct?
Yeah, I mean, but, it's like I go to so many parties and there's unlimited booze anyways. It's like you get as drunk as you want.
I want to come to these parties. Right. You go to fun parties.
Has this
incident? Come on, you've never been to parties where there's unlimited booze?
I'm just kidding.
No, we need to go to Vancouver.
I haven't. So has this incident changed your thoughts on I know you can't tell us whether or not you're going to be on the season, but if you were to go on it, does this change your thoughts on how you would proceed with being on the season and your dynamic with the girls on the show?
No, this doesn't affect me whatsoever.
It doesn't make you fearful at all of anything.
She does what?
It doesn't make you fearful at all of any interactions with women.
The only thing, even before going into this, before this thing happened, and this has nothing to do with Corinne, but the fact that I'm quite aware that a bunch of these girls have boyfriends, so you just got to know that you could be getting played. It's a game in a sense, to these girls. So that's why you got to be careful.
But would you be afraid to hook up with somebody at risk of them suing you?
No.
Even though you just saw it happen.
No, not at all.
Only if they didn't have a boyfriend is what you're saying.
I'm sorry?
So if they don't have a boyfriend, but if they have a boyfriend, you won't hook up with them even if they wanted to.
I'll hook up with whoever I want to. I'm not worried about there being a sexual assault. I mean,
okay.
A girl doesn't want to hook up with me. She can hit the road. I don't care. It's just her loss.
I love that. I love
that. Me too. He worked on his pecs today, folks. He's not worried.
Do you think this is opening up the floodgates a little bit for more people to start suing reality shows that they're on?
it's gonna be super hard to sue because when you sign things, it's really like I don't know. I never read the contract because I just know it's like it's gonna be super. It's gonna be. I'm so confident in who I am. I'm so like don't care if they want to make me want to look good or bad. If you want to, whatever. I don't really care. I know it's reality TV. I know it's TV. I don't get offended easy. If you want to go to reality TV, you have to be like me. You can't be upset about little things. You can't be upset about the way they show things. You just got to own up to it or not, just ignore it. But as for more people suing in the future, I have no idea. I don't really care. I don't think about it. Doesn't cross my mind.
Do you think with this situation with DeMario, before all this happened, not a lot of people knew who he was? Corinne obviously was a big star, had several 100,000 followers on social media. Do you think it was easy for him to kind of be put in the bad guy place because he was so little known and Corinne well known? And do you think race had anything to do with it?
I heard that he was supposedly the bad guy on this season. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but so obviously that has like stuff because he had like a girlfriend that obviously doesn't help his case or before the evidence came out that he's not guilty. So obviously that didn't help his cause. Race, I don't know. I mean, it's 2017 here. It depends which redneck you're talking to. But I don't know.
Do you think that Corinne is a straight up liar? Do you think she's doing this to save face? What would you say about that?
I've talked to some people that like just random people in the streets, or not random people, like friends and whatnot. Maybe she's doing this to get money. Maybe it was a plan all along. Who knows? Maybe her and the producer are friends and they schemed this thing up, to make money, or because the fact that she's going on there has a boyfriend anyways, that she's doing it for fame. I don't really know. I don't trust her whatsoever. It's hard to trust people to begin with, but then to trust Corinne, I trust a dead dog in the street before trusting her.
Wow. So why do you want to go on the show? Why would you want to go on the show?
Wait, that was a big statement.
You would trust a dead dog in the street before trusting Corinne?
Yeah, of course. That's not saying much, though.
Yeah.
But you've never met her.
No, just from everything I've seen on TV now, and then on top of this, and then hearing that the fact that she's the same in person that she is on TV. But that being said, like, to each her own. She can be herself. I'm just not a big fan, and I'm glad that she's fine though. I'm glad she's okay.
If you were in the room with Corinne right now, what would you say to her?
I'd say hello maybe, and I hope you're okay. But I got nothing in common with her.
You would say I hope you're okay after you think that she's a big liar?
A lot of people think she's a big liar.
I don't think they would say I hope you're okay though.
Well, I'm still human. I still think I'm glad she's okay, and I hope she's deals with everything okay. But she obviously needs some help.
You wouldn't try to ask her why she's doing this or where this came from or if it was true?
Because who knows what answer you're gonna get from her. This is for me. It's like, for example, like when Chad was like on the show on Paradise or Bachelor, everyone was affected by it, and he's bugging me. I don't care. It's not gonna affect me and my relationships or what I do in my life. I'm a big boy and I can do what I want. And for her, it's just just push it aside. It's like, I don't want to deal with this and I don't want to talk about it because it's not an issue to me. It's an issue to everyone else if the show got canceled. People, the ABC loses a lot of money because of the show's not on. Production team putting their time and energy in it. People who want to find love. So I'm glad, everyone's glad it's going on and people who want to watch the show, get enjoyment off it. So obviously it's good the fact that it's going back on because then, for example, Evan and Carly just got married. So, that's an awesome thing for these people that they could potentially be some awesome relationships.
So what's the reason that you'd want to be on it?
And I say, good question. And I say every single time people ask me this, I say the exact same thing. And I've said this from the exact start. I've never ever said 100%, I'm going for love, because I know I'm a realistic person and whatever happens, you can't control a lot of times who's going to be there, how many people are going to be there. So I say for a variety of reasons. And I say this, that, for fun, for an experience, a new experience. To meet a girl, to maybe get in a relationship, I'm not going to say, just to find love, and that's the only reason I'm going to go. That's bullshit. And anyone who says that is a complete liar.
What can the show do to make it so that people are going on more for the right reasons and not for the fake reasons to gain followers, or they want to promote, like Corinne allegedly wanting to promote her clothing brand, who have boyfriends? What can the show do?
no, I mean, polygraph to ask, made me do a polygraph to say if you have a boyfriend and what are the real reasons why you're going on here. That's, I mean, besides that, it's pretty hard because people always have, hidden agendas and, people, not true to themselves or, they can be fake. So, I mean, besides doing a polygraph and really like getting into there, I mean, it's going to be hard,
What do you think fans are going to feel going forward? Do you think they're going to show support for the show?
I mean, this season's going to be crazy. There's so many more people watching because they want to see what's going to happen. And it's going to actually help the show in the long run, I think. And you can't deny that because there's a lot more exposure in media because of that. But people, I think, are going to be like, what's real, what's not. But, I tell people like all the time that, Paradise is just like hanging out on the beach. You got a pool there, sand here, whatever, cameras around, you're just hanging out. Me and Vinny last summer just chit-chatting, shooting the shit, having a good time, and that's about it. It's not like fucking anything secret, like no hidden agenda. I just do what I want, say what I want, be what I want, I can be silly, I can act crazy, I can have fun,
Do you think we'll ever see Corinne or Demario again near?
I don't think one of my friends, who's I take her opinion quite good. I think she's quite smart, and she said like a TV will never touch her again with a 10-foot pole because of this. Demario maybe because the fact that I guess he's found innocent. But yeah, no, if I was production or TV company, I wouldn't touch her with a pole because I mean, look what kind of problems she's caused.
When do you think that we'll end up seeing this footage, if ever?
It'd be interesting if somehow it gets leaked. I mean, obviously, some people want to see it because see what actually happens, because now there's still people are really curious about what happened. Was it that bad, or maybe it was like again nothing. Do
you think that any members of the cast have seen it at all?
I think I want to be. I don't know where I heard it from. If it was online, that maybe Demario and Corinne seen it, like saw it the next day. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm sure most of the top dogs seen it because you got to check out see what's actually happened. Editors and producers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. I don't think that's what I've read, that they're not going to release it. It's not going to be part of the season at all. They're not going to be part of the season either, which is interesting.
Well,
it would help ratings.
If it clears everybody's name involved, then why wouldn't we see it?
That's a good question, Rox.
Any thoughts on that, Daniel? Why they would be hiding it, other than they're still investigating?
Well, because because like can't show like sex scenes and stuff like that, and like just wild shit like that.
Okay.
Just think about it.
Yeah, and before you say that, so obviously the ratings are going to skyrocket. I mean, they're already high, but now this is going to make people that don't even watch Bachelor in Paradise want to watch Bachelor in Paradise.
Every single person I've talked to in the last year, when I say, what do you like better, Bachelorette or Paradise? Every single person said Paradise.
Right, but now people that don't even watch anything Bachelor will want to tune into this. So because of that, and because the ratings are going to go so high, are you going to have a different strategy in terms of how you're going to proceed in doing the show if you do the show? Or are you going to just go in it the same way you would go in it normally?
I have no idea. Like, again, I got to get on there first. I really don't know. I'm just gonna be myself, or you could be anything. You could be any. The thing with reality TV is you could be anyone you want to be. You can be an asshole. You can be a crazy person. You can be a silly person, and then again, they can edit whatever they want. They can pick and choose who you want. So, once in a while, people come up to me and they're like, after they talk to me, like, "Oh, you're more normal than I thought," or say something different than what they see on TV. I'm like, well, gotta realize that is TV, and you can only see a small part of me. They're like, oh, sometimes like I feel like I know you so well. I'm like, oh, you have no idea who I am.
Wow. So you think you're very different than your character on the show?
Oh yeah. I mean, character is just a small percentage of me, or one part that I can be.
Yeah.
Do you think it's impossible to get ahead on the show without an agenda?
In which way get ahead? Get
well known, advance, do like. To get on Bachelor in Paradise, to stay on.
One thing I was thinking about in the last, being on these shows, after being on the last 2 shows, and watching next season, watching how Chad, so basically, the crazier you are, the more wild you are, the more followers, in a sense, you can usually get. Because with Corinne, look at what happened with her. The more crazy she is, or whatever, the more hype you get around you. So people might be going into TV shows now thinking, oh, that's what I got to be to, get some recognition.
Well, All right. Well, you guys heard it here first from Daniel Maguire. Everybody can find him on Twitter at Daniel Maguire85. Correct? Is that?
Yeah, I don't use Twitter that much.
number?
It's just, yeah, it is, but I don't use it that much. It's just
More of an
everything's-
Instagram kind of person?
I like using Instagram more, but everything's so much work. I find, it's like a full-time job.
Yeah, I get that. But you're like, yeah, I like the Instagram. I gotta show off
Well, I
the
like
bod.
pictures. Pictures are cool. I like using pictures. Pictures, you can, say a lot from pictures, right? And then you can also write something if you want. Twitter, I don't know.
I hear pictures speak 1,000 words. You think I made that up?
Instagram is at Daniel Sean Maguire.
Yeah, Daniel Sean Maguire, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Are you going to pay him a compliment? Well, I'm not throwing you under the bus, but I'm saying, Daniel, that she was really excited to have you come on here because she said you are the best-looking Bachelor guy that we have had on.
Yeah, we've had a
You're
lot of
V
them, too.
cute.
Yeah.
Who have we
Roxy.
had? Who have we had or who said that? I said
Sure.
that. We've had on Robbie.
Chase.
Ashley
I.
Hi. She's a cutie. I had Jared on my other show. Haben, I think is how you say it. I've a bunch of them. Yeah.
So keep hitting the gym.
Those pecs
Michael,
are
for
really
that.
working for me, baby.
Whatever. I think he's cute, okay? So sue me. So
I also think you're really cute.
I do too.
I'm
We
making-
all think
All
you're
right.
cute, Daniel.
I'm making sure the guy gets a compliment.
We'll be
That's
up
it.
in Vancouver very soon.
Are we?
Well, let me know if you come out here. I'm here for the most part. It's a good home base,
Yeah.
especially when it's sunny. But I prefer LA because I'm more of a beach person. I like the sun,
Beach boy.
even though the traffic in LA is horrendous.
Daniel,
Yeah.
we're hoping that you end up on the show this season. Best of luck if you do.
I'm hoping too. I like to have fun.
The best thing you can do, though, you're not going to be the most dramatic part of the show for the season, so you can pretty much do whatever
Well,
you
if
want
I
from
wanted
here.
to, I could easily go into it and be like, I'm gonna go and just go crazy. I could
Oh,
be like,
you should. That's a great idea. Do it.
Well, I really could. That's the thing with reality TV is you can be whoever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. All right. Thank you, Daniel. We'll talk to you
Well,
after
thanks,
you're on
Tom.
this season, hopefully.
Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.
Wow.
Good old Danny.
So
Love him.
he is sure that Corinne is not telling the truth.
You know what? He actually would trust a dead dog more.
That comment
I mean,
speaks
really.
volumes.
A dead dog.
It got a lot of reaction in the
Dead
chat,
dog.
by
Dead
the
dog
way.
can't even speak. What
I
kind of
got-
dead dog too. Are we talking like
Also,
Shar-Pei? That's a trustworthy dog.
Why wouldn't you trust a dog? Dogs are the nicest creatures.
The most
in
authentic
whole
of all,
It's not
right?
about trusting a dog. It's about trusting a,
A dead dog.
I gotta
Well, of
give
course
him.
you can trust a dead dog. They're dead. They're not going to tell your secrets.
No,
You
I
can't
think what
trust it,
I
though.
think what he's saying is that dead dogs can't lie to you. All you're gonna get is lies.
Yeah, but that
know.
doesn't make sense because wouldn't it be like I wouldn't trust insert person who always lies?
Are you guys as certain as he is about how this all went down?
No.
I would say about 75%.
Here's the thing. There's a puzzle piece that we can't fill that for some reason he can fill in the sense that he's much more sure. Yet he hasn't met DeMario, for instance, but he's
Or
that
Corinne.
right, and he's that sure, which means that there has to be something, a vibe, somebody said something. There's something that we can't say that he's so sure of. Especially, remember, he's talking to the media and he's saying this.
Yeah, and another thing is I found is who knows if it's just because they are all part of the Bachelor family. Maybe they do want to go back on the show, different things like that. But everyone who has been in that situation on Paradise and in the show, any of the cast members have kind of been saying the same thing in regards to producers stepping in regards to the alcohol intake, and in regards to all of that. So that I do agree there's a puzzle piece missing because all of them are very confident with the statements they
Right.
are making.
But do they not have ulterior motives as well? Because they still want to be
No,
on the
that's what I'm
shows.
saying.
They still want to be in good standing with the show. So they also
See,
have
that's what I'm
ulterior
saying.
motives.
So it's you never know.
Here's why I find this to be so concerning right now. Because as women, people in general, especially in this industry, but as women, this is something I learned from Kevin, and it's something that I think is maybe the most true thing that we need to remind ourselves is that we have to pitch a perfect game. You cannot slip up as a female in this industry because you will be crucified. And what's so unfortunate is that if she is not telling the truth, which is a sentence that doesn't come out of my mouth very often about women talking about sexual assault, but if she is not, which a lot of signs are pointing to, then it is truly, truly appalling because of what ramifications that will have on the rest of females going through this.
Cry wolf.
Of course. And now, what are we going to see? If there is too much alcohol on another reality show, if there is sexual assault, there will be women who think, wow, even if it happened to me, look what happened to Corinne. She didn't win. You know there will be.
Here's the thing, though. I'll ask you guys. I'll ask the girls in here. If you drank so much that you didn't remember the night, and you found out that you did the things that were done between she and DeMario, would you feel that that was sexual assault?
Yes.
Legally speaking, it would be.
So would you feel that way?
It depends on what happened.
If what happened was the exact same thing.
Is he sober?
Exactly the same situation. You were
I don't know
Corinne.
what the situation is.
The situation was to Corinne that she was so drunk that she didn't remember the night.
And so was he.
And that he was drunk. And
But
so
she hasn't said he was. She said we were both drinking, and
but
she
she-
blamed it on the producer.
right, because
so
she
this
says
is
it's not his
different-
fault. Well, she's saying it's not his fault. He had nothing to do with it. He was obviously in it with her, but like he was drinking
what's your
and she was
question,
drinking.
Ashley?
So my question is, would you guys think it was sexual assault? Lauren says yes. You say I'm not sure what you're saying.
I think it depends on what the
It
situation.
Okay.
totally
What do you
depends
think?
because I mean, this could. You've been in college. I've been in situations where I was super drunk, hook up with my boyfriend, and don't really. It totally depends on the situation. I think.
But
It's
I've
such a-
never not remembered something. Like
Right.
every time I've
Girl,
been
you're
drunk
not
and been in that
drinking as
situation.
much as we
I've
are
been there.
then.
Yeah.
I've been there where I
'Cause
haven't
I
remembered.
can't imagine that. If I didn't remember, I would feel assaulted because like I lost a portion of my life.
would
How
too.
can I know if I said no?
I would too.
I
You would
don't.
feel
I don't.
assaulted.
100%. Absolutely.
No matter who it was, whether
If it wasn't, I mean, if it was a boyfriend, I wouldn't. But if it was somebody I didn't really know and I was on a show and I didn't remember what happened, I would feel like I was invaded.
where is the line? If it's somebody you previously hooked up with, if he is not as drunk as you, how do you even measure that? I just think there are so many factors here that you have to be sure before you go ahead with something like this. And I do think that
Absolutely.
what would be even more concerning, probably, and this is where I do feel bad for Corinne, is that a producer walked off. So you're Corinne now. You don't remember what happened, but you know whatever it is pissed off a producer or worried a producer so much that she left.
And she left her career at
She
stake.
left her career. She was
Yeah.
like, I can't do this. Don't you as Corinne now feel like, oh crap, what happened? Mm-hmm. Even if you didn't remember what happened, you would think, why did this woman leave? What went wrong? Oh no, what did something actually happen? And then you start to piece things together in your mind as best as you can. And now maybe she saw an opportunity, or maybe she truly doesn't remember. Maybe she hasn't seen all of the footage. I'm not on the exact same page as he was, where he's like, I think that she's a complete liar and I don't feel bad for her at all. I feel bad for everybody involved because, like we talked about last time, this is a lose, lose, lose.
I'll ask the women in here. If you were in her position, would you want to see the footage?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Of course. Unless I remembered what happened.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't want to see the footage.
You
Probably.
know,
you're
Rox,
reliving it.
I think maybe that's where this is so different and it's hard for us to comment on it because I totally have been with you on the sense that, yes, sometimes I drink too much and I have hooked up with people. And Lauren, you said this never happened to you, but it has happened to me. But there are people I know. I never would feel assaulted in a sense. But then you could totally feel different if you knew you could watch back. If you could watch it back, there is a chance maybe you would feel a different way. So maybe she saw it back and then felt a certain way about it. You never know. There's just too many things.
We know DeMario's lawyer saw the footage and then assured DeMario that he did nothing wrong. But there is a reason that Roxy mentioned earlier, very interesting, that the footage won't be released. Why won't it be released? Why won't we see it?
That's a great point.
If there was nothing on it, if what we see is them hooking up, even if he was eating her out, I whispered that because I see Costas standing there. Hi, Costas. Hi. I'm like eating her out.
Eating meatballs.
That's Maria's dad for anyone that doesn't know.
So he's like, oh my God, earmuffs. So even if that did happen, they would blur it. We've seen it on the shows before.
It's been on Big Brother a bunch of times that there's been sexual intimacy, and they've taped everything.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because it's an ongoing investigation, it makes sense that right now they can't release it. But once the investigation's over, I don't understand why. And also, like he said, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been leaked already. There's got to be multiple people with access to this.
All the girls in the chat are saying they'd feel like they were sexually assaulted.
If they were too drunk. But here's the issue. This is where I feel bad for the men. And I'm sorry, but I'll say it. He very well might have been as drunk as she was.
I feel bad for him too. I think
I
he's also
absolutely
a
do.
victim, and I don't know where we draw the line. Michael, as a guy, I mean, I know you haven't had this specific situation yet because we're saving it for a special moment, but what do you think? Like, if it's a girl and a guy in it, are they both victims in this situation?
It's hard to, because in what I'm hearing, what the sources and allegations are saying is that she came on to him in this situation. At least came over to him and kind of brought him to the pool where all this took place.
Well, I don't know if that's relevant, though.
No, but yes, it is to a certain extent.
If your argument is you're blacked out, what matters if you made
no. But I'm talking about her question of, would you feel like the victim? Because then are you kind of being bullied and taken advantage of if he's too drunk to say no or consent? That's where I'm going with this victim. And
Christian, we're going to you in the booth. Christian, are you with us?
I think if they both consciously chose to get that drunk, they pretty much knew that they were going to put themselves in a situation where something would happen. So if the way that she's telling the story is what actually happens, I feel bad for her. But like our guest, there are a lot of questions for how did it get that far along, and why did no one stop it? Was it because it seemed like, oh, they're just doing their thing? They knew that they were getting that drunk. They
right.
Definitely knew.
The blame can't be put on him in the sense that he was drunk too, and I think he absolutely is the victim too. Feeling invaded and acting on it and saying I was assaulted are two different things. I think if she felt invaded, she went to the producers and she told them that's how she feels. But she's torn because she knows that DeMario didn't do it to her intentionally. There was some agreement.
Else have a kind of a problem with the word victim continuously being used? I feel like that's a millennial thing. Like, I'm the victim here. I'm the victim. Even people that I know who have been sexually assaulted, they don't use that word really.
I think people like the word survivor more.
Right. Like something very tragic happened to me and I'm working on overcoming it. Mm-hmm. Or I am a survivor of something. I've heard that a lot. But it's really interesting. Even when we had on one of the Boston Marathon bombing survivors, she very clearly said, we do not go by victims. That is not what we are. And that's a completely different scenario. But it was interesting that saying at the same time she doesn't remember what happened, she was also calling herself the victim, even without having
I get what you're saying.
No memory and no.
Right.
It's just kind of a
It is
odd
very
word.
interesting. I think she was saying it because she feels like in this case she can't remember, and that makes her feel victimized, makes her feel like she's helpless in a sense.
Roxy, to your point, if she was actually a victim, I feel like she'd be suing him. I mean, she's feeling victimized by the situation, but she's not holding him accountable. I mean, I guess you can be a victim either way, but she doesn't really strike me, like you're saying, necessarily as a victim.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable situation. Speaking about drinking way too much and hooking up with people, so I got a really an interesting text message from an ex today. In college, when I was a senior, I graduated a semester early. And during that semester, I still lived on campus and still did the damn college thing just without classes. So was that a good transition, by the way, from talking about sexual assault to my party lifestyle?
Yes.
Yep, nailed it.
Yes.
So, just trying to lighten the mood here. So I met this guy. He was an agent, and I was like obsessed with him, and I just wanted him so bad. I went on.
You wanted him to be your agent.
That's where things got blurry. I was obsessed with him and wanted to meet with him so bad. Met with him, wanted to do more than meet with him so bad. Made out with him on our first business dinner, and decided this was gonna be like the dude. So I started seeing this guy. It was I was, 21. And
How old was he?
on older. He was older. Not that much older, but like, I'm going to say 26, 27.
Okay.
In the world. He was a world person.
It's pretty good as an agent to be 26 too. He's probably a smart guy.
Yeah, he was a world person, and I was like a basement dweller at the time. I was like, you guys have heard stories about me from Kevin. I was like a gremlin child. So we would go on these dates, and I thought I was being all mature because I had taken all of my classes, and all my other friends were still students, and I was just living the life. But I was drunk all of the time. All of the time. And finally, he called me one day, and he was like, hey, can you get coffee with me? So I drove to meet him for coffee, and he was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. And I was shocked. I was like, how dare he? I don't think I had been dumped at this point, and it was like, this is not happening from you. This is not happening. We are on great terms. We haven't even slept together yet. Like, we've got to get there. Let me show you the goods. He's like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, why? He was like, well, because you're obviously an alcoholic. You have a bad drinking problem, and I cannot be with you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I literally had no idea what he was. I was like,
You went for coffee and you were like, can I have a whiskey?
yeah,
Thank
seriously.
you.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you mean. And he was like, Roxy, how often are you drinking? I was like, well, like daily, but so is everybody. He was like, that's just not the way it works. And so he broke up with me. I was really upset about it. I don't even know if it was because I liked him that much or I just didn't like being rejected. So I was super, super butthurt. Oh, remember you said you didn't know what that was.
I
Do you
didn't
guys
know what
what
that
butthurt
was.
is?
Yeah.
I just have been living under a rock for like 20
butthurt,
years.
like
Sorry.
when you're hurt in the butt, like you've
Yeah.
been banged in the
Anal
butt too many
sex.
times.
I understand that.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Continue.
So I felt really, really butthurt, and I went back to my roommates, and I was like, mark my words, one day he'll call again. And today was the day.
Call?
No!
He reached out to me today. He was like, hey, girl, long time no talk. Had a client who came into AfterBuzz today. Just thinking of you. How are you doing?
Wait,
Had a
call
client
or
come
text?
into
It was a text.
We had
I said call. I thought
Sorry,
it sounded
had
better.
a client what?
Come into AfterBuzz.
What? Oh, okay.
Like a client on our show.
Do you think we could still like get in there to be one of his clients? Because
Well, maybe. So
is he a good agent?
Ooh, good question.
He's actually moved on. I don't think he's an agent anymore. I think now he's a manager or something. I don't know. I follow him on social media. But none of this matters. What matters is that he actually reached out.
Yep.
And I was right. And that is the lesson here. That if you are an alcoholic, that one day he might reach out regardless. No, I think that he like keeps up with me on social media and sees that I'm a functioning member of society now.
Right.
And finally was ready. And I feel like maybe I should get coffee with him and see what's up.
I think so.
So do
Really?
you look-
You think that Ben wouldn't be okay? Like he would be
Oh
okay
my
with that?
God, yeah. I make
Ben
Ben
wouldn't
go on
care?
dates all the time with people. I'm
Wait.
like, go,
What do you
go.
mean you make Ben go on dates all the time with people?
Well, you know, like, okay, you do the same thing for
No,
Rick.
I'm asking you though. What do you mean? Dates.
I make Ben go on dates with these girls that like will help his career.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Like
I
a
do the
real
same thing
date?
with Rich?
Do they think it's a date?
Well, I just tell him to hush on the fact that he's dating somebody.
Really?
You don't open up with that. Like, if a really cool girl is reaching out to you and she's got a big following and she's like, I don't know, a producer or doing something, I'm like, damn right you're taking her for drinks. And then he goes, and then after like one or two, I'm like, okay, mention it. Just drop it slowly. You guys don't
Really?
do that?
No.
I don't have a boyfriend or that situation, but I totally get that.
I do that sort of sometimes.
I definitely don't do that.
But I don't go on dates, but I'll like let it string along until like we get on a good rapport and then maybe it won't matter anymore and
So
then
they
we can
think
work
it's
together.
dates, Lauren.
Well, no, then I'll drop it, you know. Not dates, but like what you're saying with Ben. Like I'll let the conversation go on for a while. I won't lead with it.
Maybe
like
you
you're
used the
saying.
word
Do
dates
you-
and you didn't mean dates. You meant like appointments.
Do you put
If
require?
it's drinks, I mean, Christian, if your wife needed to go out with somebody who was going to help her career, if somebody was from Orange is the New Black or another Netflix show and she was going to get on it and it was a cute guy, you'd let her go.
Of course, I'd let her go. I mean, see, the difference is though that's a lot of the reason why you wear a wedding ring. You know, I mean, is
Well,
she
you
going to
maybe
take it off for
Flip
the
it
meeting?
around.
I mean, I guess I don't. I honestly don't think she would do that. I think if it was the situations were reversed, I'd be like, hey, look, so I need to go on a pretend date. I don't think she'd be okay with it, but I could be wrong.
No, on the
Do
flip
you-
side,
It's
honestly,
different. Look, it's completely different when you're married.
I get what you're saying. I see. For me, I think the person I'm with wouldn't care. I could probably say I'm going on a date, and he probably wouldn't care. But I don't think it's right.
I mean, it's not a date like you're going to hook up.
Yeah.
It's drinks and flirting.
Right. So you mean drinks and flirting? That's different. And I think that's still wrong. But
Do
I
you-
think I can understand why you would be like that because you're just more open. You're trusting.
No. You guys are misreading this.
No, I think I
situation.
get it.
I have questions because I'm wondering if there's any stipulations in terms of where they can go, at what time. Is there a dollar amount? Just drinks? Any dinner? Is he picking her up?
I tell him when I think he should pay, like in what scenario, because sometimes I feel like if he's asking somebody and he needs a favor from somebody, I'll tell him he should pick up the tab. And it whatever time works in their schedules. If that's 10 at night if that's 6 a.m., if that's noon, you know, whenever it works in their schedules. It's not like I'm sitting there being like, you should go fuck her. You know, like,
What if that would help his career?
no, like that's
No,
crossing the line.
that's different. But it's more so a business meeting that involves a little bit of flirting. Correct?
right,
Yeah. I think that's fine. That's what I was talking about
That's how
earlier.
you play the game a little bit. So
You don't want to turn them off by saying, "Oh, and the old ball and chain."
how annoying is it when you go out with somebody for the first time, even if you're not trying to get in their pants, and they won't shut the F up about their significant other?
It's like, do you have a
I
personality
think
of
that's
your
really
own?
cute.
Right.
I think that's sweet.
No.
Oh,
Really?
Ash, no,
It's a
you
turn
don't.
off.
I do though.
Are you on crack, Gold?
Yes, I wish, but
Here's
I'm
the-
not.
You're going out with a guy, and you are talking about business, and he's like, "But my girlfriend."
I
But
think
my
that's
girlfriend.
adorable. I mean, I think the way you just said it sounds like an old lady, like I'm my girlfriend. But if somebody talking about their girlfriend, I would think that's sweet.
Ugh.
Sibo in the chat makes an interesting point towards Christian that says sometimes that wedding ring can lead to more attraction. And likewise, if you're just subtly dropping that you have a girlfriend or bring her up and you're not forcing it, sometimes that can lead to more attraction because they know you're taken.
Yeah.
The idea that you're unattainable could actually, I mean, not in my case. I'm not going to be more attractive to anyone, but someone else. One
Right.
of
That's
you
why
ladies
I
you gotta
heard
let me know.
nowadays-
gay guys like to turn straight guys gay.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for
or they
sure.
try to. That makes them excited.
Nowadays, though, the deal is like you could find out if anybody was dating in 2 seconds. If you're gonna
So-
go on to drinks with somebody, you look at their social media 1st. You see if they have a significant other, and then you just have the knowledge. Like if this chick that my boyfriend's gonna go out with didn't take 2 seconds to look at his Instagram, because I'm all over the effing thing. We're making out and stuff.
Yeah.
So she should probably know. I just don't think he needs to repeatedly mention my name.
No.
You can find out in 2 seconds unless you're a casting director for The Bachelor.
Or unless you're someone like me that doesn't post about your significant other because that person wants privacy. Sometimes you don't post about it.
Okay.
Like you just happen to be one of the people that post about it.
That is not true.
What do you mean? I don't have one thing on mine. He doesn't like to any.
He has so many things. Look at any. of
He
your
does,
tag-
but his is private.
Look at your tag pictures.
Oh, I never looked at them.
We
I
have
didn't see it.
we have a great question in the chat
Yeah, what
from
do we
our
got?
Melvin fan. I wonder what Kevin would say about this, and would he do the same?
Here-
You know, obviously Maria's pretty high profile, but would he be like, just go on the date? Because
Yeah.
it's
I
gonna be-
have 100%. I have gone out with Kevin and Maria many times. When we were at the Super Bowl, Kevin was like, "Listen, Rox, I need you to be on my arm so that Maria can be flirting with the dudes." Because she's got to get it done. Like, not really flirting, but just saying that she's free and has the freedom, and not the guys there don't feel like Maria's with her boyfriend so that they can't go talk to her.
He's extremely selfless. He's a very rare type of man. Most men aren't like that. He just knows that he trusts her so much. She trusts him so much. That's relationship goals. That's like
Right.
everyone
That's why
wants.
they stay together.
Right.
Like they've been together for so long. I think
Exactly.
it's because of that freedom within the relationship that they have stayed together.
And like you guys said, the trust and knowing that their career is still important, and this could be something that helps. So trusting them that they're not going to go bang somebody,
Exactly.
and that you could have a couple drinks with a person of the opposite sex. I'm surprised you were so surprised with that. It was
You
just a
said
D
you
word.
said dates. You said you don't mind that Ben goes on dates.
She was using the term loosely though, but I get why you would be
I
confused
know,
by that.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I don't.
Anyway, I'm
going
gonna go on
yeah.
a date with this dude, not an actual date. But I think
Meeting.
I'm gonna reach back out. He probably has a significant other too. I'll check him out on Instagram. But I think it's cool. I think it's cool that he saw me and reached back out, and I was right. That's the point
Do
of all
you think
this.
the's any chance that he's realized that he's an alcoholic now, so he wanted to talk to you so you could help him through it?
It did cross my mind. The first thing I thought, I looked at this and I was like, huh, what's the angle here? What is the angle? What do you want? Some booze? A drinking partner? But then, no, I really think he probably was like, she's not in college anymore. I gave her 5 years. I'm guessing she's not an alcoholic. I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out.
How many times do you think he's come close to reaching out before now that he does?
In my ego, all the time. In actuality, I think this is probably the first time I crossed his mind, and the second he thought of me, he was like, well, I shoot her a text. Like, if he was listening to this, he'd think, wow, she overthought this one. No way have I thought about her, not once in the last 5 years. Okay, so I have a couple of things going on besides him that are really, really annoying me this week that I have to talk to you guys about. The ladies on this one, I want to get your opinion, because this is something that's been seriously, seriously pissing me off. Anytime you guys post a video somewhere, do people comment, she's so pretty, you're so pretty, look, that girl's so hot, and then for all the guys, they're commenting like, wow, he's really smart. Those are some great points. Intellectual genius. Because that's what's been effing happening. Like, if you go on air and you talk about something of substance for an hour, 2 hours, and then after that, people are just saying that you look attractive, I want to flip over
let me
the
ask you a
table.
question. So you're saying that you would rather people not, you don't think, there's no part of you that enjoys being told you're attractive. Truthfully, be completely honest.
Honest to God,
Honestly.
on videos,
Yeah.
0 part.
I really...
Yeah, Ash, because I've been doing this for 7 years. You like it? You like when somebody comments
I absolutely
that?
love
Oh my
it.
God.
Are you kidding me?
No,
I would
this,
love it.
This is the opposite
Not
of the
gonna
point that
lie.
I'm trying to make.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm with you
Tell me I'm
because
hot.
because
That's
at a
great.
base level, women have to pass a physical test before they can be anything else.
I'm just so frustrated with female issues this week. Like, all of the things that I feel like I go on these shows and I prep for hours and I have all of my notes and I know just as much about Han Solo, which, Christian, we will be talking about soon.
Yes,
and
we
I know
will.
just as much about DC and I know just as much about television or cannabis or anything. And all of the comments are like, wow, Bob is so smart and Roxy's hot.
Okay, Roxy, so say the flip side happens and you stop getting told you're hot on videos forever, right? And no one ever says it again. They just say that you're really smart. You're telling me 100% you wouldn't be like, shit, do I not look as good as I used to look? There would be a
That
part of
wouldn't
you?
even, it wouldn't even cross my mind.
Okay, if you're being
I can be honest
being
with you. A part of it would cross my mind, but
would
that's
definitely
because
cross
of the
mine.
way that this culture is set up, where we feel like we need to pass that physical test.
I
think we all want to know that the guy thinks that we're hot in the room. I think we all want to know that we look pretty on a video. And I think that some people, like Roxy, who's being completely honest, doesn't mind as much. I think for the majority of girls, we
I'd
wanna
rather
know.
be smart, though. I would much
I feel
rather.
like it's such BS. Like, I just the differences between what people write for men and what people write for women is so massive. Like, Christian, on your shows, are people writing, wow, his hair today, dreamy? Or are they writing, yeah, I totally agree with you about the Mets. Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
I think I'm a bad example. Maybe Michael Klaus gets those kind of comments, but I don't think anyone's ever looked at me and thought my hair was dreamy. But speaking of dreamy, I mean, Michael Klaus must get those kind of comments on his show.
I receive them sometimes.
But it's more often about that. So that's what it's frustrating me because I keep thinking about now if I was a man, and this is what happened to me at work today too. I'm at work, and honest to God, I asked for this tiniest favor. The tiniest favor from a producer. You can't even call it a favor. It was asking him to do his job. And I hear in the other room that he's like, God damn it, she's always asking me for extra shit. And literally 30 seconds beforehand, a guy walked in and asked for such a massive favor. He was like, I hate the guest on my show. I need you to rebook this. I need you to rebook that. And I'm sitting there and he goes, yeah, he's tough on his shows, guys. He's really, really tough on his shows, but it makes for great product. What the actual hell?
It's typical.
What the actual hell? Kevin always tells that story about Meryl Streep and Robert De Niro, maybe?
I don't know about that, but one time Kate Walsh came on our show. And she was talking about, like, literally the only thing she asked for was a hot bath. Like, to have a bath. And they called her difficult.
What a bitch.
Yeah. But,
So
like, that was her
challenging.
one ask. They were up in a very cold climate, and she asked for her hotel room to have a bath.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But, like, a guy could ask for all this extravagant list of things, and no one would say anything about it.
All coming back to the fact that we have to play a perfect game, which is what I'm realizing more and more. Do not ask for anything. Keep your head down. Don't expect anything. Take these comments in stride, whatever it is. It doesn't mean you can do less research. It doesn't mean you can be less intelligent. It doesn't mean you can't show up. You have to keep doing that. And then, even then, they still aren't going to help out. And this isn't just with women, by the way. This happens with men all the time, too. Happens with minorities all of the time. So this... And even in life, not in the entertainment industry. This could happen anywhere you are. It's just frustrating that you have to play a perfect game. Sometimes you have off days.
Right. But at the same time, we still have to keep questioning these things. And when they happen, we have to have these conversations because otherwise we might not even know what's happening to us until we look back on our lives and say, wow, that wasn't right. That wasn't right.
Yep.
So
Did
it's
you
really
guys-
important.
Oh, Scotty, go ahead.
No, that was just like a good point with what Lauren said because I don't know if I've just been lucky with the place because I've been at the same company. I've not had a male do anything along the lines of what I've heard you guys do. Wow. And so I don't know if I think I'm really lucky because I do work with really great people. But then at the same time, I feel like now I'm like waiting for kind of the nail to drop. And I feel like it'll hit me really hard when it does start happening because I know it does happen. but
Hopefully
I feel
we've prepped
lucky.
you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that's what I'm wondering too, is if maybe because I have heard your guys' stories and how you do it, that it could very well be happening to me, but I'm just not even letting it fit. I don't know.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Christian, maybe you saw this one this week, the woman that tweeted about Gal Gadot making $300,000 compared to Henry Cavill's $14 million, where that was a completely made up story and it was not the truth.
But of course, people are ready to believe it because
retweeting it, 20,000 retweets.
Because if that story were true, you could of course be upset and outraged, but you wouldn't be surprised.
And what happens the next time somebody tweets something like that that's actually true?
Yeah.
People are going to say, remember the last time and it wasn't true? As women, you have to triple check your facts. You cannot just tweet out that men are making more money than women. You need to cite your sources. You need to realize that Chris Evans also made $300,000 on his first Cap movie, that had nothing to do with who she was, and that Henry Cavill didn't make $14 million beforehand. You cannot mess up here. You have to keep this perfect. And so that's just been like all over the place, not to mention what's going on with Bill frickin' Cosby.
Oh, God. Are you guys
Showing-
going to be attending his seminars?
Jeez.
I mean, they sound very informative.
So true.
Even if there are 40 women, 60 women, people still won't believe you. There are people still out there that think Cosby is telling the truth. People who are defending his representative for saying that he's going to teach how to avoid being charged for sexual assault.
How to get
What
away with it, basically, is
the
what he's trying to
actual
teach.
hell. Yeah, there are
You should
people.
read
Does
his
anybody have that
statement.
actual statement? We need that statement to come up.
It's so Wednesday, the comedian's planning a series of town halls this summer to educate young people about sexual assault. Bill Cosby wants to spread the word to young people about sexual assault and how to avoid being accused of it.
How to avoid being accused. Not how not to do it, not why it shouldn't be done. It's how not to be accused of it.
You know,
Step one,
it's very
let
obvious.
them remove their own
Well,
underpants.
it's very obvious. The best way to not be accused of it is, it's a crazy idea. I know Bill would never sign up for this, but don't drug women and
No,
then don't
no,
rape
that-
them when
that
they're
doesn't
asleep.
work.
But that's the easiest way to avoid being
Simple,
accused.
Simple. And then he went on further to be like, yeah, because this could ruin your lives. Not this could mess with the women that you're sexually assaulting. Not it's wrong at its core. You guys, we got to teach you how not to get caught because it really could mess with your life. Like, what the? And this is the person Bill Cosby has hired to get him out of trouble when he says stupid shit. And now he's the one saying this?
Is there a part of you that truly believes that he thinks he is the victim in this? And I'm using
There's
the
that
word
V
victim.
word, yeah.
I'm using it. Do you think there's a part of him that believes he is the victim?
He absolutely thinks
massive.
that.
I
He
think
thinks
it's the whole
because
part
of
of it.
He thinks it's because of his fame.
Everything
he thinks it's
he is.
because he's
But
a
you
black
think
man.
deep down,
It's
inside,
not that deep.
he
No,
and
it's
his
right
wife,
there at the top.
No,
Yeah.
people say that there's certain things, but they're not really believing it. I don't think deep down he thinks that he did not do something wrong.
No.
I just think he wants to keep his life, his wife.
He absolutely does. There is no way you would come out with this new program and this new teaching method if you didn't think that you did
Wouldn't
something.
you want to? If you wanted to save face
If
and
you
you
did think
already
you did
went this
something.
far along, wouldn't
He-
you try something like
He
this?
thinks.
No.
He probably
No.
thinks.
This is more evidence for the jury to look at and say, wow, this guy's fucking crazy. He really thinks he didn't do it, and there's
He-
60 women speaking out against him?
And in any of these instances where he thinks these things happen, he thinks, these girls are so lucky. They got to fuck Bill Cosby. Good for them. I
I
think
helped
that's
their
how he
career.
looks at it.
Absolutely how he looks
I
at
think
it.
he knows what he did. I think he absolutely knows what he did.
I think he knows he slept with them. I don't think he knows that that's wrong or why.
I think he
Exactly.
knows it's wrong. I just think he'll never admit it because he's got too much pride.
You're too good of a person to have that much stake in this. You are putting your own values and morals onto him, which he does not have.
Then he's completely sociopathic.
Yep.
And
Obviously,
how is he
yeah,
keeping a
agreed.
wife for this many years?
That
She
is beyond
seems
me.
normal.
She has Stockholm syndrome.
But she literally
Yeah.
thinks he's innocent.
She
How
has-
could you have to live a life lie in order to be in the same house with someone who's accused of that many
Or
terrible,
to live with
terrible
somebody that
things?
also is living a lie.
At the end
Yeah,
of the day, we
they're
all
both living lies.
We all make decisions. It's what we do. You either decide to stay or leave. And if you're her and you decided to stay, what's the alternative? You're just going to say, I'm going to stay with him, but he's a messed up dude? No, once she decided to stay, she's got to say what she's saying. She's got to make herself believe that, because otherwise, how do you wake up in the morning?
They just say that everybody in life, deep down in your subconscious, you know exactly what you did, what you're thinking, how you truly feel, but it's very deep down.
Tell that to Hitler, man. Like, I just don't believe that everybody's a good person.
It doesn't mean you're a good person because you know what you've done, though, does it?
You physically know what you have done because you didn't black it out. You know, he's not wasted drunk for all of these, but I don't think he knows it's wrong.
No,
the action to consequence line is severed in some people. And he gets what he did, he gets what's happening to him, and he has no idea why those two things are related.
Hitler thought he was making the world a better place.
Yes.
Bill Cosby thinks he's making these girls' lives better by spending a few hours with them. And sometimes he throws money at them at the end of the occasion. So, you know, that's how he looks at it.
Tip.
Yeah.
Just a tip.
Speaking of throwing money at people, I love this story, Lauren, that you found for us. Ariel Winter.
Yeah.
I love her from Modern Family. She doesn't get enough burn. I feel like she's really, really great. She's very talented on the show. I love her. And she does some weird things via social media. She's got some weird life choices. Who are we to judge? You know, if you want to tweet out on Veterans Day a picture of you in a bikini saying, like, thank you, troops, okay. maybe not my choice, but you do you. But she was accused by Star Magazine of doing something that she definitely is saying she hasn't. Lauren, you want to talk to us a little bit about this?
Sure. Well, there were rumors going around, printed by Star Magazine, that she was paying her boyfriend an allowance. And she put out a very, very explicit statement, and I can read it if you would like. This is from her. She took a photo of her notes. Star Magazine is obviously a non-reputable source and a trash magazine. But seriously, how dare you make up stuff that you have no idea about? I have a boyfriend and a personal assistant who are not the same person. I would never pay my boyfriend any sort of allowance. Every time I do that, it's capitalized. Any sort of allowance, nor would he ever accept if I offered. He buys his own stuff, whether it's for me or himself, and he more than pulls his weight in our life. I hate fake news, but I guess that's what our world has come to. Get your shit straight. I don't support anyone, and I don't need anyone to support me. He's got a full career, including something huge that's new, and works hard for it. He is not just someone's boyfriend, so if you don't know us, don't comment XOXO.
I like that she ended with XOXO.
Wow, amazing, Lauren.
He's definitely referring to like a penile implant, right? Something.
Definitely something huge.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, a couple of things on this. Say that she was. I know she just said she was, but say she was. I have no problem.
I was just gonna say there's nothing wrong
so
with it.
if I'm
Who
if
cares,
I'm dating an actress who is in the 7th year of a network sitcom and making a lot of money,
Making millions.
and doesn't have that many expenses,
and she
No
feels
kids.
like she's gonna, you know what? Here's some money to take care of some odds in it. Great. I'd be happy to be a kept man.
I don't see a problem.
I think that if she was a man.
we
Everything's coming back to this tonight, guys. Sorry, people have pissed me off too much.
Hashtag TTS feminists.
If she was a man, and he was giving an allowance to a female he was dating, this wouldn't even be an article. They wouldn't have even written about it. I don't understand what the problem is. She's claiming she's not, which is fine, and maybe she isn't. But if you're dating somebody who makes significantly less money than you do, and you don't help them out at all, and you're serious with them, you're kind of a jackass.
I think it's the term allowance that it seems like it's a kid thing.
I think that's what offended her so much, but I would have responded to this and been, if I wasn't, I would have been like, hey, you know what? I'm actually not, but now that you mention it, what a good idea. I love him, so I'm just going to help out his lifestyle.
Absolutely.
This isn't like she's paying for kiddie porn. They made this seem like something horrible because she has a boyfriend that maybe she helps out sometimes.
I think to be Roxy in defense, I think what's happening is she's had a lot of bad press lately. I mean,
Yeah.
like her mother, her estranged mother, came out like a couple weeks ago saying she doesn't understand why her daughter dresses so scandalously, why she exposes herself so much. She got a lot of flack for the dress that you guys are seeing right now, the
Being
gold
too
dress that she
provocative.
wore. And so I think overall she's trying to do the right thing, work hard every day, and she's getting a lot of she's getting a lot of negative news, and this is just another thing that she's just like, okay, I'm fed up, I'm done, stop making up stuff about me. I think if this was the first thing to happen, she probably would have ignored it a little more.
Yeah, maybe. Do you guys think she is paying him?
I think she absolutely buys him stuff. I don't think it's an allowance, though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't think
He's
it would-
on a pretty successful show, I believe, on Sci-Fi. He acts with Anne Heche and her husband. I think his name's James Tupper. But with that being said, she's making bounds and bounds more money. And if she does, like Christian said, I think that's fine. I mean, everyone's at different points in their lives, and to give the person you're with gifts is normal, and it's wonderful.
I think she was worried about him, sorry, Rox, that because as a man, I think it makes you feel a little less than if you're not the one that's paying for as much. So I think it was more about protecting him.
Do you think that's why there were so many capital letters that he was like, you have to clarify this part, that it is not
I think so.
Yes, Rox.
do you think he wrote it for her?
Yes. No, but I think he had a lot of influence on it.
I
Right.
think he was over her shoulder.
I think
while
she wants
wrote
him to
it.
feel like the man.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rox?
I think that probably they had a conversation about it, and maybe she was a little more level-headed at the time. He was probably pissed, and she was like, all right, I have no problem doing this. I'm a provocative human being anyway. I'm going to write a very angry message back. I feel like they kind of put her back against the wall where she did have to respond one way or another a little bit. I guess that some people wouldn't, but she's in the media all the time, and Kevin's always saying you have to step on this, step on that. If it bothers her, if she didn't want this to be out there, you do have to come out and say it's not true. Although it did make bigger press because she said that. I never
Right.
read it otherwise. So.
Methinks thou dost protest too much.
Yeah, maybe. She just should have spun it the other way. She should have spun it the other way. Even if she didn't do it. Hey, what's wrong with that?
Comedy
Women-
must rule.
Hey, independent ladies out there, if you can pay for your man, damn right.
I've noticed lately in the media that a lot of celebrities that are now single are moving on to younger guys. So we've seen with Kourtney Kardashian. We saw it with J-Lo, although now she's with A-Rod, and I think they're about the same age. But there's a lot of celebrities that are doing that, and this just reminded me of that. How do you girls feel about that if you were a little bit older, even now, dating someone who's of age, over 18, but who's younger than you?
I just
and
interviewed an
taking care of them.
18-year-old the other day on the red carpet, and I was like, he's so hot. If they're of age and you get along, I think it's all about their maturity level.
We're too young to date younger men at this point. Because we're in our 20s, and men that are younger than that, younger than however old we are, that's a problem. They just haven't
Even
got-
if they're like 20, 21?
100% agree.
Oh.
We've lived so many different lives.
Okay,
between
so
20
do you,
and
They don't have
now.
it figured
but the
out
older,
yet.
but when you see somebody like that, I actually think it actually looks refreshing to me when you see somebody older dating someone younger. Not our age, I'm saying like maybe in their 40s dating
All right,
someone
here's
younger.
a callback. Remember Jared at 33?
Yes.
When he was on the show, he was Jared at 32. That might have confused you guys a little bit. Jared at
Totally.
32's fiance, they didn't get married yet, right?
Just
I think
fiance.
they're getting married
Fiance
soon, yeah.
is 41, I believe.
Yes.
Jared at 32 is old enough to be with a 41-year-old woman. So, as a 41-year-old, I think I might date a 32-year-old.
My wife is 34, and I'm 41. So,
Right.
you know,
So-
it's,
I
when
think
I
it's-
met her, she was 20, and I
But
was
when a
27.
girl is young, when a girl's older than the guy, a lot of people I were talking to about this said, "Oh, I could never see myself. That's not manly when you're younger." And I don't know. I thought this feeling of like, I think it would be great. The guy would like kind of worship you and like.
Cheat on you.
No, I think he would be like so
Wouldn't you
into
just
you.
I mean, imagine like a 20-year-old guy, you know, just imagine yourself 10 years older than you are right now.
Okay.
And a guy who's 20, just how annoying he would be.
Yeah.
Like he's not out of college yet or didn't go to college,
No.
you know.
What about
So
25, 26?
That's a little different.
Depends.
I
Okay.
think this goes both ways, but I think the official rule is your age divided in half
Plus 7. Yeah.
Really?
I'm
I've
sorry,
it's
what?
the French actually
The official
invented that.
rule?
Yeah, that's the perfect age. I think men are the only ones who do this, but the perfect age for a woman is half your age plus 7.
Interesting.
And Juliet's people invented this.
I think that's how low you can go without it being creepy.
Oh, damn. My dad's not doing this right then.
He's like subtracting 7, I think.
I'll let him know the French rule doesn't work well with his 24-year-old
So subtracting 14.
It is interesting before we move on in that I wonder how much this had to do with it is that Sofia Vergara, also on Modern Family, had her own headline from Star Magazine about a month ago that she really slammed back. So I wonder if that's something that they've talked about. Certainly not the first time that they've attacked a Modern Family co-star with a allegedly fake headline.
I'm sorry. What, Michael?
So Sofia Vergara had her own headline on Star Magazine where they said that her and her husband were breaking up. And she also attacked the magazine and said, "How dare you put this out?" And I wonder how much that had to do with Ariel Winter responding to the same magazine, making another allegedly false claim.
I'm going to say none bits, probably. I'm gonna
Agreed.
Go with, I'm gonna
I
go
don't
with
think
no
it
bits.
has anything to do with that either.
No bits. But I was gonna crap on you for a second because I thought it had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but then I see that there was a little bit
There's
of
at
relevance.
least something, yeah.
There was something there, so you're chill. That one will slide. But I don't think she read that. I don't think she followed what Sofia Vergara said. I get that they're on the same show, but I think she's in her own little millennial world. She got this. She got pissed. She responded with some Post-it note or whatever that app is called that you write in. Just notes? Post-its? What's it called?
It's just called Notes.
Just call it, yeah, notes.
How old am I? Don't know.
I like
Her
Post-its.
and Tiger Woods using the notes.
This is, you guys know, this is too much talk about like pop culture things that aren't nerdy enough for me. Christian, let's get into the nerd
Is
world
it time
a
to
little
talk
bit.
about Han Solo?
We got to talk about it because this is insane. What has happened from the last show we had till today? Han Solo lost Lord and Miller. They left. There's a lot of controversy around this. Did they leave because they were shit-canned? They were fighting with Kathleen Kennedy? Did they take a meeting with DC about the Flash beforehand? We don't know. Scabby, we don't know, right?
So,
I definitely don't know.
I don't know, and I don't care.
We don't know, but now we're filling the holes.
well, now what we're getting, though, is that Ron Howard, who's directed a lot of movies that probably even Abby has seen, although maybe she doesn't know that he directed them.
Yeah.
She's really got to look
Scabs,
like.
give
Don't
me a
you
Ron
love?
Howard film.
Don't you love The Paper?
Give me a couple seconds.
Uh-huh.
Listen to how loudly she's
Happy
typing.
Days!
Well, he was on Happy Days,
Close.
but
He didn't direct that
and I'm
one.
sure he directed
No,
some
I know he
episodes.
didn't.
So I think that what this has a lot to do with is that this is Disney. They have a very specific vision. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they weren't stepping in line. This is what happened. Also Disney, Ant-Man, which was supposed to be
All
directed
right.
by Edgar Wright.
True, but Christian, we have 3 weeks of production left. 3 weeks left when they're putting. I mean, we're adding on now because.
Well, I was
we're
going to
getting-
say, I think there's going to be a lot more than 3 weeks. I
they're
think that
adding 5 additional ones. I
they
heard.
were so unhappy with what they had that they probably just figured out that it's going to take 5 more weeks to undo whatever it is that they said, you need to change this. They probably said, no, we don't need to change this. And Ron Howard's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Opie Cunningham. I'll be happy to be a company man.
Scabby, what you got for me? Which one do you know?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
Yeah!
That's the one.
And Cinderella
Apollo
Man?
13!
Cool.
Apollo 13, one of my favorites.
Great
I didn't
job.
even know.
They
course
didn't even know.
I didn't
so,
even know.
Here's the deal. I've heard a lot of people tweeting being like, no, the best part about Lord and Miller is that they are fresh blood and they're young and they've got energy. The last thing we need to do after pulling them off the project is put a newbie after them. We need somebody who's a vet, somebody who can get in, somebody who can get out, somebody who can get the job done now, because this is going to be a disaster without a very experienced director in place. I'm glad they picked him. He doesn't particularly excite me. If he was signed on from this from the beginning, I wouldn't have been like, hell yeah. But him coming in, I think, is the perfect pick at the end here.
They care that he's going to make his days, which is, get everything done. Don't go over budget. At the end of the 5 weeks, they're going to have what they want, not what the director wants.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
I agree. Do you think that Lord and Miller are going to go over to the DCEU?
I think that this is actually not going to help them get their
Work?
next gig. I think that people are going to really want to know, so what happened here? Now, they'll get to do another Lego movie, maybe 23 Jump Street, just some follow-ups. But I don't know. Would you put them on your project after this?
Damn right I would. I would say, here's my project, run with it because I love your work.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And if you're difficult to work with, that's not going to be a problem for me because I'm not going to micromanage you. I get with a Star Wars film, you have to a little more, but I'm not going to put them on something
I
like
guess
that.
your project is a smaller budget than my project, hypothetically. My project is really big, a few billion-dollar movie. No, I don't want them.
No. So, yeah,
I love their work, by
I
the
think
way.
if I'm over 100 mil, maybe not.
Yeah.
But if I'm in that 70 range, yeah, I'm giving it to them. What about that 30 mil range? They're on my project. I think they're great, and I think that the studio didn't trust them enough, or they just pissed enough people off. So we'll see how that ends up working out. Lauren, talk to me a little bit. This is something that you.
I'm scared.
That I didn't know that much about, and I just have to figure out these mini crossbows that are firing toothpicks.
Yeah, people in China, they're not really obsessed with the fidget spinners. What they love are mini crossbows that are firing off toothpicks.
Like who? Like
all these
children?
people on Twitter. You gotta look it up. It was one of the trending stories today.
Do they shoot them at people?
Well, so far I've seen them shoot them into apples.
That's okay.
Here's an apple that I'm seeing right now.
I feel
someone
like
threw it in
Ashley
tomato.
needs to own this.
I'm scared. No, if Ashley owns it, she will murder people with it.
None of it. All of us will be
definitely will
wearing
murder
eye
people with
patches
it.
on Monday if Ashley gets
Oh,
one
I
of
could
these.
write a really good song about
We
that.
could all be
though.
patchy.
Patchy's wearing an
Eye
eye
patch.
Patchy's his name.
and
He's
no longer
changing
the
the
game.
game.
He's
no longer tame.
We miss you, Ian.
Yeah, we do.
Patchy.
AKA
That was
Patchy.
before Scabby's day. Scabby, congrats on your promotion, girl.
Woo!
Thank you.
Congrats. So what does that mean for you?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be making double what I've been making for like the last year.
Wow.
And I was telling Michael after our show Monday, everything you were saying, I don't know if you noticed me, I was like looking like so into your soul. Everything you said about like being in a certain spot for so long and you feel like nothing's happening for you, I was in that. And then so yesterday to like get a call that I could possibly be getting a position that's higher than what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And even though it's not my dream, obviously I would like to do something like all of us do, but I've been a PA for 2 years and now I got a position higher, bigger paycheck, more responsibilities, and it's just like what I needed to hear to kind of give myself that little pep.
Well, Scabs, you pitched a perfect game here, and I know I keep bringing that back, but you're somebody who kept your head down, you worked your butt off, you weren't asking for crazy raises, you weren't going in and complaining all day long, you were shutting up, you were doing your work, you were offering different suggestions, you were doing everything right, and you got promoted because you got noticed for doing the right things. Even the worst people in this industry, this Kevin's always saying, even the motherfuckers out here, if you work your butt off for them, they notice and they help you out. So I'm really happy for you, but I don't think a single person in this room could say they're surprised.
Thank you.
I mean,
Not at all.
she's our Scabby.
Very
Literally,
selfishly,
the
I need to ask the follow-up question. Are you going to be too busy for us now?
I don't know my schedule.
I didn't
yet.
like that answer.
Please
The correct
don't.
answer
You
was no,
cannot
I'll always be
leave
here.
me right now.
I will
Please.
be here as much as I can. I love it here too much.
Good. We will take that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And now
Yeah,
you,
no, please
you
don't.
just threw
You
off
just
my
got us all
mind.
sweating.
Look,
Christian.
I was like, I'm really happy for you, but now about me.
No.
Because I'm not a millennial, but I think like them.
Me.
Yeah, honestly, like, if it means that you're leaving us, I still am okay with it because I care about you.
I'll still work from
but-
afar. I'll still help.
Just get me the crossbow and I will aim it at myself.
So what are you going to be doing? Like, are you more excited because you're going to be out in the field more, or just,
Well, I love being out in the field, so I'm happy to be going back out there because for the last couple months I have been in an office, which is just makes me stir crazy. I love the people I was working with, but I was just going stir crazy in there. So I'll be back in the field, and I think I'm just excited because everything I was doing before, I felt a trained monkey could do. But I know it's what you have to do, and I was good at it, and I did what I had to do, but I'm just excited to have responsibility that is very, even though I know being a PA, they need that to make the production run. I know every job is important, but this job, I feel like I'll be able to see my impact more. So I'm excited to be able to do that. And I'm more excited that the people who gave me this job have seen me as a PA and chose to move me up. And they saw and they think that I'm capable of doing it, even though I've never done this position before.
I can hear Kevin in my head right now being like, "You're a good kid. You're a good kid." Don't you guys hear him
Because she
saying
is
that?
a good kid.
Yeah, that's awesome.
you.
And I think it's really good advice for people out there that are trying to get a promotion where they are. For the people that hired you, prove to them, show them you can do the entry-level jobs, and that does translate, whatever line of work you're in. So just keep staying there. How long were you on that level for? How many months, years?
When I moved out here, August 2015, I began as a PA. And I did have a couple months in between where I would just do random freelance work. But from then until a couple weeks ago,
So
PA.
two years.
2 years.
All right. Sometimes it takes a couple
That's
years.
what I was just about to say. I'm like, there were so many times that it just it was hard sometimes to want to go to work because you're not doing something that you're loving, but you got to do it. Got to pay the bills so that you can make your real dreams come true.
Staying on the topic of you,
oh God,
I saw that you covered. Well, I know that you covered the Nia's Dance Mom's red carpet for her Sweet 16. Anything you could just share with us quickly from that? That was interesting because there's a lot of huge social media stars and Dance Mom stars there.
Christian, listen up. Take notes on
Take
Nia's
notes. I
carpet,
know
yeah.
you love
Roxy
Dance
and
Mom.
Was my favorite dance mom there? You know, the
Abby
one,
Lee Miller.
the other one.
Oh, yeah,
the
totally.
crazy one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maya.
Oh, thank God. I'm so glad.
You know, it was just a fun event. Maddie and Mackenzie, they're the really popular ones. Lots of things. They wouldn't walk the red carpet. There was
Classic Maddie.
classic Maddie. But no, it was just fun. It was very laid back. Just, light. Keep it light when it's, I don't know.
Cool. So I bitched a lot this show. I feel like I had a lot to get off my chest. Lolo, you were telling me about a little annoyance that you're having with a dumb therapist.
Oh yeah. Well, I got back in therapy because I want to become a better person and like do some introspection. Thank you. But
Excuse me, bonjour. I don't see you clapping in there.
yeah, bonjour.
She doesn't
please
believe in
clap for
therapy,
me.
clearly.
Bonjour.
It's not French at all.
Yeah, but it turns out this chick I'm seeing, I don't think she's so deep. And I've never had the experience before. I've done therapy before and it was great, but my therapist got pregnant, which was really rude of her. And she had to leave me for her baby. So I took a couple years off. So yeah, I mean, have you ever had that experience? Have you ever done therapy?
Oh yes. my
Yeah.
friend.
But like when you're sitting across from someone, you're like, this person clearly does not have their life together. And I cannot be getting advice from you. But then I'm going to have to go through the whole story with someone else. It just seems
That's
like an
the
uphill
problem.
battle.
Going through the whole story, I've done
Yeah.
that many times, and that's why I just quit therapy. I'm like, screw it.
Yeah.
But I
No,
understand.
you got to get out. Quit while you're ahead because you don't want to keep going down this
You're
path
right, you're
with
right.
this one person. The first woman I ever saw, a therapist, I walked into her house. It reeked of urine. The entire house. You know how a lot of therapists have their office
in
their
LA or Massachusetts?
It was in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Reeked of cat piss and kind of human piss too. It just reeked. And I sat down, and within 15 minutes of sitting there, she had diagnosed me as bipolar. I was there for 15 minutes.
Was she a psychiatrist? Because there's a reason why if she's a psychiatrist.
Well, because you're going to make money.
They
off
make
the-
shit tons
I
of
know.
money.
Oh, wow.
Insane. And I was like, oh my God. It devastated me. I maybe had said like two things to her about, sometimes sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down. It's like life's a roller coaster. I think I was 15. And she was like
And
bipolar.
You were obviously bipolar when you were 15.
Bipolar.
Yeah.
So not only was she not in a relationship, not only did she have no family around, there was no pictures, not only did her house reek of piss, not only did she diagnose me, but she also I'm telling you, she was in sweats. Her hair was frizzy mess. Like this woman looked like she had not taken care of herself, and not just like that week.
I think
but
it's so
in
interesting
years.
as somebody who probably has great insurance, who probably, you have connections to some of the best doctors and stuff. How the heck did you?
She was $250 an hour.
Oh,
she was like,
my God.
See, my lady I found
Holy
through my
cow.
insurance, and she's 20 with the insurance, which is great. But I'm wondering if I'm going to find a good person who also takes my copay.
Yes, you will. And different people are good for different situations. So maybe she would be good for somebody else. Maybe at a different point in your life, or if some of the struggles were similar to hers, or an expertise. But if she's not right for you, then get out, because somebody will be. I'm a big believer in therapy.
Unless she goes to your cat lady, she would not be good for Lauren, I don't think.
Because the next person I saw saved my life.
How did you find her?
I just did. I kept looking, and I went to a few people, and I was like, no, is this what it's supposed to feel like? And then I went to her, and I was like, there it is. It just worked. Like dating.
Right. It is like dating.
Sometimes people aren't right for you.
It's speed dating, basically. You have to tell your whole life story within 45 minutes,
But
several times.
Yes, and the hard part is, and I know, Ash, you can relate to this too, is that some people can be right for you in some scenarios and wrong for you in others, because they might know a lot about family and not about love life, or they might know about PTSD and not know about some other, like there are people who specialize in certain things but won't be able to give you as strong advice in other areas.
That's so true. I had a friend who called me yesterday. She told me she's dealing with a situation with her boyfriend right now where they're going to probably take a break, and so they both went to his therapist. And
that's always a problem too.
Yeah,
because if it's one of your therapists.
Exactly. And the therapist advised them that they should take a break and they should live in separate areas, but they should just join up and have sex and then go back off into their lives as this break goes on. She also told her that they should go on a break for a year and so continue this for a year. And so I told my friend, I said, you need to call a therapist and talk to her and tell her she was completely wrong and you're never going back to her. And she did.
There's like 17 issues with that.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah.
First of all, I feel like that is advice I would have given as a 14-year-old girl.
Right.
Like, you guys should totally just be sleeping together. Like, honestly, you should move away. Like, don't even see him that much and just call him and be like, sex, please. Like, that is something I would have said when I was in high school.
Make him move to Quincy.
Yeah, make him move. He doesn't even deserve to be here, except when you want his penis, okay? Like, that is a, like, absolutely outrageous thing to say. Second of all, a year? You guys should go on a break for a year?
That's the most bizarre.
And then
advice.
she talked to the therapist and she asked the therapist why she said a year, and she goes, because it takes a year to get to know yourself. She's like, so in that year you wanted me to have sex with him for a year.
You can't put a time period like that on these things. I mean, you could say, like, let's check back in a couple weeks, but you can't say, yeah, let's check back in a year.
See you in a year.
After we moved out from each other and had sex with one another.
Yeah, but we penetrated, so we're fine.
But no talking. No talking.
Don't you dare talk.
You are on a break.
You ring the doorbell. You go in. You fuck. You leave. That's it. That's honest to God advice from a therapist. So not to shit on this person because they go through a lot of school, and that is something that I'm sure she legitimately thinks is good advice. I don't think that anybody's out to like screw their clients intentionally, but to each their own. Just like as human beings, we have separate opinions from one another. We definitely have therapists that have different opinions. I don't think you would get that same advice from another therapist.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so we got some psychotherapists in the house. You got to change yours. Your friend has to change hers, and everybody else should be seeing a therapist.
Do you think that?
I think at some point in life, people. I think everything that works for some people doesn't work for others. I believe in trying things out. I think if you're struggling or not, and you want to be talking to somebody, you should definitely go for it. And if you don't like it, you should stop.
The problem is, at least with me, I always end up being everybody's therapist, even the therapist's therapist. And this has happened to me so many times, I stopped seeing therapists. You
have to have a therapist who won't let you do that. My therapist wouldn't let me.
I had several therapists, all of which it turned into me giving them therapy. And I know it's my fault because I see their weaknesses. I want to help them. I want to give them confidence and success. And I want to make their lives better. And then I'm like, okay, and I just paid you for that.
See,
it's
the
my
last
fault.
5 minutes, this is what I did with my therapist. The last 5 minutes of every session, I would make her give me life updates so that we kept it to the last 5 minutes because I wanted to feel like I knew who I was talking to. So
that's a good idea.
We would end and she would be like, here's what's going on in my life. And I'd be like, oh, man, I think you should do this or that. And that would be that. So I felt like I was understanding somebody who was talking to me and knowing my deepest, darkest secrets. Now, a lot of therapists won't give you that much. They won't tell you what's going on in their lives. And a lot of therapists will tell you way too much. But that was what I ended up doing. So that because I'm similar to you in that way.
Yeah,
Ash.
yeah.
Any other crazy therapist stories? Christian's sitting here. He's like, yeah, one time I went to a therapist.
No, it's funny because I've actually never seen a therapist, not because I don't think it could have helped at various points, but mostly because at the times where I maybe could have used it, I know I wouldn't have told the truth. And I'm like, well, that would have been a waste of time.
Bonjour. Is this a American thing, or do French people see as many therapists as we the...
Oh, French people definitely see a lot of therapists.
Really? I would think that they don't see therapists.
I feel like it must be a
sexy.
sexy scenario, like the French therapist. Like maybe you want to like have sex with him, or her.
They're smoking their cigarettes.
They're eating some dark chocolate, and they're like, "You want some chocolate?"
That's pretty accurate, right, Jules?
Like Basic Instinct type of situation. Okay.
Oh, cool. Now that we got
Let's hear more about your theory, Ashley.
I'm picturing now just you walking into like a French therapist's office. Ashley walks in, she just immediately strips, and they're like,
"Well, I know they can't say anything.
That is not what we do here.
It's confidentiality. I can do whatever I want.
They cannot see you again.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Really?
Oh.
All right. On that note, I feel like we are out of things to say once we're talking about Ashley stripping and not understanding that therapists can decide not to see you too. Miss Ashley Daniels, that's where they can find you if they want to see your...
Instagram and Twitter is Ashley Daniels. I'm sorry.
I'm just thinking... I can't stop picturing it. @_Abby Vega.
You got it.
@the only MC.
Been a pleasure.
Bonjour, Juliette. Nope. She didn't even want to comment there. At the Blackcast. Just Blackcast. No the. I added a the there.
Just
Because it's
Blackcast.
the only one. Just
That's
Blackcast.
right. 232 episodes.
And wow, damn.
Keep him busy.
That's awesome. You moved quick.
Well, the 200th was back in November.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been about 32 weeks.
You don't ever say that. You're at Christian DMZ, too.
No, because I feel like it's better to promote the product. I am at Christian
yeah, so
DMZ.
screw Christian DMZ.
Yeah,
Only
screw
go
that
to
guy.
Blackcast.
That's right.
At Lauren LaGrasso.
Love you, Rox.
Love you, Lo. You sat in that chair. How'd it feel?
So much fun.
Did I keep it nice and molded for you? I feel like my butt's made a little imprint there.
I got the Stryer imprint. I'm feeling great.
Wait, am I saying Raylyn in the back there?
Yes.
Hey, Raylyn.
She was a late arrival.
She's at Raylyn Taryn. Never forget about Raylyn. She would tell us what we learned today, but that wasn't much. Right, Raylyn? Yeah, that's what I
Trust,
thought.
you trust the dead dog.
Trust the dead dog more than you guys. Guys, I'm at Roxy Stryer, and again, our captain is not here tonight, as you probably noticed.
No, I had no clue. Wait, what?
I knew something was weird
It was
tonight,
weird.
right, Ash?
He
Yeah.
will be back at some point, but he is going through something right now. So as I keep telling you guys, please send him some love at Undergaro. Send him those tweets right on his Instagram, wherever you are. Make sure he feels the love because he misses being on the show, and he's still helping us out with everything. And that's his name on the sign, so it's his show. And don't you forget it. Guys, make it a better tomorrow.
Thanks for tuning in to The Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro. For guest bookings, questions, or comments, you can email us at info@thetomorrowshow.com. Be sure to follow us on social media and tell a friend about the show. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, your voice of tomorrow, wishing you a better one.